everyone. My name is Nina, and welcome to another episode of the Lion City Wrestling Cult podcast. Today, let's talk wrestling with pro wrestler and coach who also contributes to the creative and production from Grapplemax, Big Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hello. We totally had it right the first try.
Yeah, no, nobody saw that.
Nobody will know what happened.
No, thank you so much for being here, like taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for having me. It's a lovely Sunday.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Thank you. So how are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. I recently did not have last weekend I was really busy, so it's like
Hmm.
very nice to have a weekend where I can be a caveman at home. Like any time where I can be a caveman at home is great. It's a great time.
I know.
My wife is out. I get to play games at home.
What games do you play?
I play like FC25 currently playing
Mm,
football.
okay.
Yeah, I spend most of my time playing football and a little bit of Pokemon here and there.
On football on the desktop?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. On my
okay.
PC, yeah, I'm a PC
So
gamer.
so Pokemon you play on like the Nintendo Switch lah?
No, I play on on Steam as well. That there's like this
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
I
this
didn't know that.
emulator where you can like download
Okay.
old games and you can like just enjoy them at your own time. So yeah, it's what
I
I do in my own free time.
Do you still play like the new Pokemon game? Because I still do that.
Yeah. I still keep up with the new Pokemon games. Yeah, like
Nice.
I don't really play intensively as much anymore. I used to play a lot, but it's just for the story. I'll get into it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So who's your favorite Pokemon?
Favorite. Wow, favorite.
I know it's tough, right?
There's like what 700, 800 of them. How like favorite. Oh, you put me in a spot. I think one Pokemon I use the most is this one called Magnezone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I
Interesting.
don't particularly have any reason for that. It's just
Uh-huh.
always a very useful game. I'm quite a functional guy. Like I don't have like specific attachments to any Pokemon that I use.
Okay.
Whatever is most functional to me, I'll use it.
Well, I
Sorry
mean,
guys, I'm
I would
boring
not have
person.
expected Magnezone. I mean, it's a cool Pokemon because for me, I'm also into, I like Pikachu. Like, I don't know why that's my go-to.
It is the mascot, so
It is. That's
yeah,
also true, but it's just
yeah.
that I don't know. Like just recently, my love for Pokemon got reignited, and then suddenly I'm like, oh, Pikachu. Like I don't know why.
You feel young again.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I've already turned 34 this year, so suddenly I feel like, oh, I want to go back to my childhood.
Ah,
Take me back.
age is just a number. Age is just a number.
That's so true.
See, we've been talking about Pokemon. We haven't even touched on the wrestling part yet. My God.
Getting to know you, Dave.
Right.
But also speaking of numbers, you celebrated 10 years in wrestling last year, right?
Last year, actually, just this August, I didn't celebrate it, but kind of like the 11th year just went by.
How is it?
Yeah,
How do you feel?
I feel old.
You just said age is a number.
No, it's the age is a number. My body is another thing. Like like just the other day, because I work in the fitness industry. I'm a coach outside of
Mm.
wrestling. I was just speaking to some members the other day. So ever since I hit 30, I could start feeling my knees. Like it was never there before. Like I didn't specifically feel my knees before, but now
Uh-huh.
I like every time I stand up, I sit down, I feel it. Like I'm not exaggerating, guys. Carl, our ex wrestler,
Yes. Mm.
he always tells me that, oh, Dave, once you hit 30, then you'll get a buff. You start feeling everything. Trust. He always tells me that, and the D, we used to game together. He also
Mm.
tells me, yeah, when you get old, you start feeling it. So now I'm 30. I would say it's not an urban legend; it's real. It's very real.
I'm 34 and I can attest to that.
Shit, we're all getting old. But yeah, I mean, 11 years in pro wrestling. I don't remember the exact date that I debuted on, but I know it was in August.
Mm.
In very sexy swimming tights. Not even wrestling gear. Uh, uh, and yeah, of course, I debuted with our co-founder and boss Gregory.
Yeah.
He's a whopping another 11 years older than I am. So
Oh, wow.
you can imagine him. Yeah. But
Did you
it's
know him before wrestling?
no, actually, like I didn't know anyone before
Okay.
wrestling. Like there was some of the wrestlers who came from the same secondary school as me. Funny
Ah.
enough, two of them. Same secondary school as me, but I didn't know anyone. So when I joined, trained for like 5, 6 months, and then debuted with Greg. So the infamous GST, the Greatest Singapore.
Yeah. That
So yeah, 11 years.
it's amazing to think that I also first know about you from GST days. So it's amazing that we are here now talking about it.
God, we spoke a little bit prior, like how you've been around for quite some time, but
Yeah.
I get to know you until like two years ago, like really get to know you, and like uh that just go to show like how long how long you've been around, and it's quite insane to think that you knew me when I was wearing the very sexy swimming trunks. It's embarrassing now, but young Dave was a different animal back then. Now I'm just like jaded Uncle Dave now.
Oh, yeah, you kind of like give off this like older brother. I mean, not uncle. I wouldn't say uncle. That's too old. But you do have that older brother vibe
No,
for
he'll
sure.
be uncle already because like i- in Grapplemax, like we always get new students coming in, and it's just life, right?
Yeah.
The age number gets smaller and smaller, and the gap gets wider and wider. So the other day, we were at SNF Singapore Night Festival, and that's where I found out that Devan, our most recent graduate, Devan is 10 years younger than me. My God, he hasn't even gone to NS yet. So
Oh.
we had this conversation where like, hey, what were you doing when I just debuted? Like Dave debuted in 2013. Like, what were you doing? Oh, I was in like primary 1 or 2 or 3.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! Right. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. This is the magic of pro wrestling.
I know,
Uh,
right?
yeah. So
And I
so
also kind of had the same similar conversation when I had Miles Karu on the podcast.
I hear he's very young too. I think he's
He's
also 10.
21.
My God.
When I found out about it, I knew it before the podcast, but I was like, I have to bring this up because it's insane to think his role in MYPW, and then like, oh my
Right.
gosh, and then also it's like when I was asking him about like his wrestling inspirations,
Yeah.
what he say is like, yeah, that's not the same generation as me. Like I wouldn't say that. Yeah, he
Pretty
was talking
modern.
about the shield and all that. Like he grew up with the shield, and I'm like, really? Wow.
Yeah, it's really insane. Like Miles, I definitely have met him, spoke to him a few times, got to know him and our exchange programs.
Yeah.
Great guy. He's achieved quite a little bit for a man his age.
Mm.
Yeah, but dude, I think he's got a shave a little bit. He looks like he looks much older than he
That's
is.
why I was so like, you're 21 only? What?
Yeah. But yeah, I think we digressed a little bit.
A bit.
Yeah, so in the 11 years, like I think been around for quite a little bit. I wouldn't say I've been there since day one because I think there
Mm.
was just like an out like a slightly earlier generation, a 0.5, a generation 0.5, if you
Yeah.
will, before
Yep.
like we hit the very first pro wrestling show in Singapore. So
Mhm.
yeah.
So how is your relationship with Greg since then? Like, I mean, now that you're in Grapple Max and all that.
Shit, I think like man, I I I think Greg and I we are very polar opposite personalities.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a lo- I'm just gonna go ahead and say that he's obviously the smarter one out of us two. He's got the brain, I'm the brawn, so yeah, but Greg has been over the years he's taught me a great deal of things. Whether or not it was intentional, I'm just gonna let the people interpret that. Um so we again, like I said, we debuted together. So I debuted at the age of 18. He was like in
Oh,
his
you were
early,
18.
yeah, he was in
Oh,
his
okay.
early 30s. So like I quite literally grew up in the industry.
Hmm.
Y- while he's a little bit of a more uncle back then. He's still an uncle now. Always. Yeah. Of course, I'm not gonna say like our relationship has always been smooth sailing. As
As
you know,
any.
as any, we
Yeah.
definitely had our fair share of like arguments,
Mhm.
fights. Not physical fights. Before everyone goes off, it's not physical. Just the figure. My English figurative stuff.
Yep.
But yeah, we also had many many celebrations and successes over the years, which I'm very happy to have shared with him. I would say that I am a very unwanted younger brother, I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah, a thorn at the side because I'm constantly causing him problems. Yeah, unfortunate for you, Greg. You drew a short
It's,
straw.
yeah, it's stuck with you now. No choice.
Yeah, so I mentioned that I really grew up in the industry, and guys like Greg and Dennis, they really kind of like saw me grow up. I wasn't always the easiest guy to deal with. Had many many vices, not the drug kind.
Hmm.
Had many issues
Hmm.
as a person, as a teenager. Then
Hmm.
that led to the young adult phase,
Hmm.
and so not really talking about the relationship I had with him now, but it's kind of like when you are working with a troubled person, you tend to be a magnet for a lot of bad things.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I am really thankful that he's kind of like put up with me over the years.
I mean, that's nice to hear. I mean, like it's like I guess from a fan perspective, seeing like a tag team, right, the GST days, like you also have a personal relationship as well because you need to work with him and all that, and then you also dealing with your own personal stuff, like, and you just started wrestling. Like, how was that for you?
But okay, so I think there's gotta be a lot of context that needs to be given. First of all, I didn't realize. I mean, I always knew that I was a little bit funky,
Okay.
but that realization didn't really happen way up to like at least 4 years ago.
Mm.
So I dealt with. I'm gonna go ahead and say like on behind the scenes, I dealt with quite a little bit of depression.
Okay.
I'm not sure if I'm shortchanging myself, but I found that out during therapy, which also I started like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I grew up in a very troubled family.
Mm.
Um, my my dad was very passive. He was neither there nor not there.
Mm, mm,
Um,
mm.
my mother, on the other hand, was very very abusive, uh,
Oh.
both physical and psychological.
Okay. Okay.
It's the kind where, like she has on multiple occasions wanted me dead, like she told me to like go and die or something.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, multiple
Okay.
occasions, yeah. And has attacked me with quite a number of household items. Yeah, so I had that going on when I was a kid growing up in
Mm.
my family, and I was also like bullied in secondary school, primary school as well, because I didn't really know how to like interact with people. I was very,
Mm.
very socially awkward.
Mm.
Uh, so you could imagine like I didn't have the support system I needed at home. I wasn't blending in well with my peers in school.
Mhm.
Um, and then that kind of like went to poly, which was like 17, 18, 19, which is around the same age where I started pro wrestling. So
Yeah.
so that's why I said I grew up in the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like people would think, huh, you only started growing up at 18, so late.
I
Now you
mean,
know. Yeah, so like when I first came in, I was very problematic. I like to think I was very problematic. I'm sure
okay.
the old man would also agree with that. I only started learning how to become a person when I started resting, when you know my little bubble got expanded into something else.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't really at school because I was skipping school most of the time back then. So
Okay.
so you think that, you know, but yeah, resting was something that really uh where I really felt an attachment to, as most of
Mm.
us did, right? It's a different form of attachment for everyone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But for me, it was wrestling,
Okay.
and I didn't quite understand why I was so, you know, attracted to it. Like,
Uh-huh.
sure, right? We watched like the Undertakers, the Triple
Mm-hmm.
H's,
Mm-hmm.
but like emotionally, I didn't know why I was so attached up to like
Okay.
up to like recent years.
Uh-huh.
So I said again, like I was problematic. You just drag that out for a couple of years until like my adulthood. Um, Only in the past couple of years where I really started to understand more about myself. I started addressing traumas, and a lot of childhood traumas caused by my mother,
Mm-hmm.
and the bullies back in school.
Mm-hmm.
When I started dating my girlfriend, now wife, so she encouraged me to go for therapy, and
Ah.
I really started unpacking a lot of things. So I
Okay.
think what just now I mentioned, oh, you know, everyone has a different kind of attachment to pro wrestling. For
Yeah.
me, it was just simply the need to be, or rather the desire to be acknowledged by everyone else.
I see. Okay.
So it's like, okay, it doesn't matter if I'm a heel, it doesn't matter if I'm a face, if I'm getting some form of reaction, that means I'm being acknowledged. And it
Hmm.
kind of start tying in some of that, like knots here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't have to be pro wrestling. It just so happened it was pro
It's
wrestling.
okay.
Like and the reason why I was in it for so long, it's like, sure, I wanted to become a pro wrestler. I treated pro wrestling very seriously, but
Mm-hmm.
I think deep inside me, I just really loved the communities that I was in, especially Grapplemax, because like I never had a family. So if I were to give a situation of a quick summary of what was like at home, like let's say my dad was the house,
Okay.
and in that house there is me and a three-headed tiger trying to kill me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then if I get out of the house, it's gonna be acid rain.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So like, I
Interesting.
mean, sure, the tiger would need to sleep and the tiger wouldn't
Mm.
bother me all the time, but it's
Mm.
you pick your poison, like, right? So
Mm.
that was a very simply put situation at home, and I did really have a home to speak of.
Mm-hmm.
And when I became part of Grapplemax, I started
Mm-hmm.
to feel very differently. It's like, oh, hey, you know, these guys are very nice. Whether or not, you know, it's it's real or fake, I don't know. But like, it started to feel like family, and I didn't really fully realize it the way I saw them until like, I would say this year.
Okay.
Uh so it really felt like an actual family for me. So if we tie in everything I've been saying so far, it's like I never had an actual home, never knew what it was like to have family, and then I have this little community. You know, I grew up, you know, with these people, and you know, the bad memories, the good memories, everything's with these people. So that's why I feel like a very strong attachment. And of course, it's not always a few of flowers. Like if I fell out of love of the wrestling part, it
Mm.
hit super duper hard.
Mm-hmm.
And this year it happened for me, so I had to like, I was, you know, not too sure whether or not I want to continue this and whatnot.
Oh.
So like you could see the impact it had.
Well, how come
Yeah,
you? How come that happened? If
I
you want
just
to share.
wasn't particularly enjoying wrestling anymore because
Oh, okay.
um I there were a lot of things like there are a lot of things for me to think about,
Mm, mm,
and I wasn't enjoying a lot of like politics. Not just the inside ones. I'm not saying that we had a lot of politics, but just the general
mm,
landscape of everything elsewhere, inside
mm.
everything.
Got it.
Yeah, it was just very overwhelming for me. Like
I
in my
see.
mind, it's like, I can't. I'm not having fun anymore. There's so much pressure to continuously be. We mentioned we were doing creative and whatnot.
Yeah.
I love doing that. But as my life got increasingly chaotic, it affected my wrestling part, which made
Mm,
me underperform more.
mm,
And in turn, it made me even more unhappy. So
mm.
it's a little portal of
I get it.
chaos there. Yeah. So that's where I really fell out of love for a little bit, and
I
I
see.
trip to
Then
get back.
how do you, I mean, obviously you have not left. So how do you deal with it and like kind of pull yourself back?
So like I said, I mentioned that this year was it made me realize why I felt so strongly about this.
Mm,
I had to unpack a lot of things when I took a step away. So I don't
mhm,
exactly do creative and booking now. I don't coach as much as often now because of life. But I took
mhm.
the time to
Compartmental.
compartmentalize. That's a strong ass word.
I know.
Uh, why I'm so like confused and everything. That it really dawned on me when I had a conversation with Akki and May actually at Dual
Mm,
Destinies.
okay.
Yeah. So when I love those two people are amazing. I went to ChocoPro and really felt like
Yeah, you did.
it was like another Grapplemax there because they're very small.
Nice.
They're all
Mm,
very tight knit, and I felt
mhm,
it was very comfortable and nice there. It reminded me a lot of Grapplemax. So back at the World Destinies, I had a conversation about them, and May was very impressed with our community. We're not talking about wrestling quality here or whatever the case is, right? We're just talking about the
the
community.
community.
It feels very warm, she said, and everyone. Uh, I don't want to use the word seems happy because that would sound a little bit forced. They are happy.
It,
A very tiny community is what I wanted to say. Yeah, yeah. She didn't feel like she was unwelcomed,
mm,
and it reminded, and this was the most important part for me. It was like it reminded her of home,
mm,
and like and she doesn't feel like this. She doesn't feel like this like
like it's
elsewhere.
out of place kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, and and then May sat me down and said that I think she had a conversation with Greg prior, but she just
Okay.
called me and then she said, she really enjoyed her time here because it's
Mm,
like uh it the culture and everything, you know, is what she really liked.
mm,
And she knows that, just myself, Greg, or whoever the OGs were, had a part to play in creating the culture, and she was very happy about that. And then it really hit me really hard. I I was like, man, you actually, I cried a little bit.
oh,
Yeah, because I was
you
lost.
felt it too, right?
Yeah, I was lost at that point of time, and she said that, it's because of Dave, Greg, and a couple of other guys. This is why Grapplemax is here like this today, and why she loves Grapplemax. So it hit me very hard. Yeah. Then I realized that, yeah, yeah. I do love the community here. That's why I always want to work hard for these guys. No matter how bad certain things become, I want to work hard for these guys. I want to celebrate with them the little wins and everything. And yeah, that just make me tie in a lot of things together. So
I mean, that's a good thing to bring up because I was telling Greg also, like, what really, I guess, made me keep coming back to Grapple Max in the past since I restarted last year was because of the community. Because I could really agree with what May said. Like,
mhm.
you guys have created this space where it's like anybody that comes has a space. to be
Ye-
in?
yes, I think that's always our goal.
Nice.
Like we always talk about community. I think recently we did some ads about like how, oh, people from different walks of life can simply just be a
Yeah.
part of it. There's always something for you to do. Like guys, like how like Chris does makeup, and he does and he does makeup for some of our events, like
Yeah.
the night festival collaboration.
Yeah.
Joseph is actually, he actually works in a lab. Did you know? Like so like you don't think Joseph as a scientist,
He's a
right?
scientist. Oh.
That's a very vague word to describe him, but he does do sciencey stuff. Like it's so amazing. Like people
It
from different
is.
life can be part of this community.
Yeah.
And for myself, like coming from a very troubled background and
Yeah.
still being able to be part of this community, I feel it's like a major blessing in my life. I got to grow up with everyone else, and I got to learn how to be more human,
Hmm.
because I like to think that I was very damaged, I was very broken, and pro wrestling really gave me the healthy dose of, I can't find the word. It just helped me feel better about myself.
Healthy dose of serotonin.
I guess, yeah, it made me feel better, more better about myself, and it helped me
Mhm.
discover myself. So, like, I think it's this little things, that I find that why pro wrestling is so magical. It really helps people. It doesn't matter like what demons you're fighting. It could be,
Mhm.
you can find some shelter and solace in the community, in this sport, and you might even get to find yourself. So yeah, I guess that's why I've been around for 11 years.
Yeah,
I sound very dramatic, but
no,
just
not at all. I think this is a normal human thing where we go through these things. Like, I mean, you started pro wrestling or training since you were 18.
yeah.
That's a really young age where people are still trying to discover themselves. So, and then you mentioned that you only just started therapy 2 years ago, and you only just started realizing more things about yourself recently, right? Like I
Yeah.
also can relate to that. Like I'm 34 and I'm also still trying to discover new things about myself that I didn't know prior, but other people might already notice.
We are always always learning about ourselves. I think it's,
Exactly.
it's it's a good thing that that you are still trying to discover yourself even to this day. As a saying goes, you must always be learning. I'm sure that's not how the saying goes, but the idea.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, like the moment I put the headphones on, my brain's just left my body. I'm
It
no longer
happens.
connected.
But yeah, exactly. So and I think like just want to share with you, I don't think I've ever mentioned this to anyone before, but I when I came back to doing this blog and
Yeah.
to see how Grapplemax community is, like it gives me, I guess, the comfort that I needed because I was
Mm,
also feeling lost this year, and
mm,
also partly why I brought back LCWC. But yeah, so yeah, it's a huge testament to what you guys have been creating, and I can see it through the way like you yourself also, like when you perform in the ring and all that. That's why like I've been so hooked on but in particular your storyline. I
mm.
think like
Uh,
when we mentioned like how I've been watching you since you started out in GST days until now, like you have improved so much, and I'm just so happy to see that. And
God.
yeah, and then you said that you have been kind of feeling lost, and I'm like, wow, I had no idea, but you've been doing so well.
Um, First of all, I just want to address like how happy I am to hear that you managed to find what you like to. I suppose you love love pro wrestling, therefore you started reviewing and whatnot. I'm so happy to hear that because that's exactly what we want to achieve, right? Um, Second of all, every time you mention GST, immediately I image myself with the swimming trunks. I cannot get the image on my.
Honestly, I do not remember.
It's a constant curse. People always talk to me about, oh, you used to call yourself Dave Vindictus. Holy shit, that's a very troubled teenager-esque name.
Did you come up with that?
No, yes, I did, but I was on the
Okay.
toilet. How okay, how it came about, right, was literally
Yeah.
I was in a toilet. I was on a toilet bowl one day, and
Yeah.
we had to decide our name soon. And I really wanted, because my real name is Davin, right?
Oh, okay.
So I don't introduce myself as Davin because people always get it wrong. I will become David, Davis, some random addition of Dave. That's why I always introduce myself as Dave, but I didn't want to lose the Vin part. And I was very hard on about that. Okay, so what's a nice Dave? Dave Vin. Then Vin. What word starts with Vin? Oh, is it Vindicated sounds nice. I guess I was playing like some game at the point of time, and I was like, okay, let's make it sound a bit Roman.
Ah, wow. Okay,
It
very
was Rise of
interesting.
Rome or something like that back then.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah. That's how it actually came about. But the fact of the matter is, it came when I was taking a dump.
And then over the years, you have been known as Smart Dave and
Yeah,
then
Big
Big
Dave
Dave.
now. Yeah.
Okay.
So like I think you mentioned like how you're very hooked on the storyline. I'm very happy to hear that, because like when I was writing creative, I was very particular about how people connect to the stories
Mm.
that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the most important part is the character development with a lot of our wrestlers. Gonna go ahead and say that we don't always get it right all the time, as you know, everyone
That's
does.
fair. Yeah.
Even
Mhm.
WWE gets it wrong.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
even,
Mhm.
even WWE gets it wrong. So like it's a very hard thing to do, but it always makes me happy, like when I hear people say, oh, I love this character now, or I love this guy's wrestling style now, because I before I kind of like went on a hiatus, I really wanted to help everyone discover their style, their characters,
Mm.
and that's, I wouldn't say it's completely credited to me. The coaching team, Sean, Greg, Dennis, even, like they are all heavily invested in helping all these guys. So it's a collective effort, and I'm very happy to hear.
Nice.
Yeah. Uh, I just want to give a shout out to Kelvin.
Okay, go ahead. Why?
Kelvin is such an annoying little prick. I love. Ever since we decided to turn him heel, it's been amazing.
He is really.
He's leaving the gimmick. Yeah. But yeah, Kelvin, if you're listening to this, I think you're a very hard worker. Just keep doing what you're doing. Just don't be too annoying. Great heel, by the way. Yeah, but I digress. I think everyone, right? From the Hotshots to the Julians to the
Mm-hmm.
Babu,
Mm-hmm.
everyone has grown. Not just myself. You mentioned like how I've improved over time. I think it should be the natural way, because if you are not
Yeah.
improving, then something is not right.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, I'm extremely proud of these boys for constantly not only improving their craft, but also being very open-minded to some little experiments that we had back then. Let's turn Kelvin a face. Let's make him an intern.
So he was supposed to be a face intern, is it?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a face intern. So like we I mean, I'm okay to share with you now, because like it's been so long since we had that plan. So that the plan was for him to actually live the life of an intern. And my plan for him was that we wanted him to be working in a toxic company called Showtime Inc.
Ah, okay, okay.
And he was being paid in terms of exposure. So it's like every other intern that we know of
Yeah.
in toxic company. So it become a very relatable babyface kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he has somehow turned himself heel along the way. I was like, never mind. This is more entertaining than him being heel.
I mean, it's very he does the character very well.
he,
So
he does. He not a lot of people know this. Kelvin, like I said just now, is very hardworking. In his first month, he couldn't get the back rows right, and he
mm,
would stay back every session just for another half an hour, 45 minutes,
wow.
just to practice it. He was rolling on this little triangle cube thingy that helps with his back rolls. That's why I see very highly of him, and also people like this, people who put in the effort to make it better. So to help improve their own craft. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's okay. Kelvin, you got your slot. Now let's talk about something else. Okay.
Well,
Yeah. So we were talking about storylines.
yeah.
Yeah. So we very particular about, but how we write our stories. We try our best to make everything click as much as we can.
Mhm.
Even today, when now Greg is mainly the one doing the creative, there's
Mhm.
still a lot of that kind of tradition going on. So I'm very happy that we have somehow created a baseline for a lot of these characters already. Our premise to say that there are plenty of surprises coming up. Wink, wink.
Oh, nice.
Wink, wink. I've heard about it. I'm not the instigator. I've heard about it. Wink, wink. Okay, so yeah, so for those of you Grapplemax fellas listening to this, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
So you are still very much involved, like you have not
No lah, as
not
much
taking a.
as far as hearing only. So
Oh, okay, okay.
I don't I may or may not chime in my opinion every now and then, but I hope
Mm.
to get back to doing creative stuff at some point. Then we speak about the story of Ban.
Mm.
I have no clue that you're so invested in Ban.
No, it's because I think it's the dynamics. It's so interesting. Like I think also because of both of your performances. Like it's so compelling that I want to know what's gonna happen next. You
Yeah,
know?
like I think some long time viewers would know by now that my role as a performer is mainly to uplift the other guys. It has been for a very long time,
Mm.
even when I was champion.
Mm.
Uh like I worked with all the younger generation people like YC, Hotshot, Ramus. My God, there's a long list of them. Wow. I've done pretty well for myself.
Yeah.
Prabhu,
Yeah.
SPD, all of these guys I worked with almost everyone already. So
Nice.
yeah, I think and then Ban would be the most like latest long term project that we had. Not everything has gone according to plan for sure,
Mm-hmm.
but like Ban is one of those people that we feel very highly about.
Mm.
Um, but we trying to play around whether or not he should be heel or should be face. He's very entertaining
Mm.
as and of course for me it's a very new experience because like I've always wanted to add depth to my character. I never felt
Okay.
like my character had any depth
Mm.
until I started gaslighting Bun.
What a way to put it.
Like I
Have you been enjoying it though?
no, but I'm literally the very toxic girlfriend or
It
boyfriend, if
is
you will,
though.
right?
It
Right?
is, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always constantly saying, I'm doing this for you. All I care about
Yes,
is you.
exactly.
It's very
Poor
fun.
Bun.
Okay, so I don't do this to my wife, guys. I don't do this to my wife.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer: I don't do this to my wife. I value my life. Yeah, so I think it's very interesting because like um I my wife has always mentioned like how I think most people are this way anyway, like how I'm much more entertaining as a heel than a face.
I see. I don't think I've known you as a face though, so I can't say.
God, when I was champion, I was face. Did I? Again, right? That goes to show, like some people are just natural heels,
Yeah.
and some people are natural faces.
Yeah.
I am 100% not a natural face. Like in dialect we got this term called very kampa.
No, I know not heard of this.
So very
Okay.
kiampa means like my face right is inviting people to punch me in the face.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So so yeah,
I
I
mean,
mean
you portray Big Dave heel like so well. Like,
I'm just having fun. Like every time when I go out
that's nice.
there, like sometimes with Ban, we have so many stories. We have so many stories with each other. Like I'll share some with you, but like uh working with Ban this year, I felt very relaxed. Like
Hmm.
I don't have to think about the title because when you're holding on to the title, like people say, oh no, pro wrestling is coordinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sure, yeah, but when you're holding the belt, you're also representing the company.
Yeah.
You are kind of like the epitome of or rather the standard bearer of the organization. Like your wrestling will represent what the organization is in terms of quality.
Mm-hmm.
So it is quite a stressful position to be in because you're constantly, criticizing yourself, thinking whether or
Mm-hmm.
not you're doing good, which I did all the time. I'm an overthinker. Ha 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 ha.
Same.
That's why your reviews helped a lot. But with Bun, it was a nice fresh off breath of fresh air.
Mhm.
Really got to be myself. Which some of the fans did like realize. Oh, Dave, you look like you're really having fun in there. I am. I'm being myself. Everything I do in there is not planned. I do a lot of stupid shit in there that
I
you
mean,
guys
the
don't.
faces you make, like I could tell you're having way too much fun out there. Exactly that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So I'll share with you some stories of some of the shenanigans I do like with any of the boys. I think YC is the number one victim here. So
Oh my
because I work
god.
with him the most, every time we have a face down, I walk up to him and it look like I'm mouthing stuff to him, but actually I'm just saying. So you like chocolate chip? You like
What?
strawberry shortcake? The first time YC got it, he was like,
And then after
and
that,
and with Ban is a every time we get in there, it's constantly chaos. We keep there are little nuances that we botch that people don't know. Like when we get in there and do a tag team move and we don't know who is legal. I will turn to
yeah.
him. I'll turn to him, ask him, hey, so who's legal? I thought you. It's literally on the spot. Like people don't really realize it
Oh my
because
god.
we're both very blur. We're both very blur people. Then it's like oh shit, and then when he slips off me, you can hear whoa.
So candid.
Yeah, so like we are both very. It's very fun to work with him. He's very funny.
I mean, honestly, like to me, pro wrestling, like as much as you want to see like the good side of things, everything's polished and all that, but it's to me as a fan, like it's okay to see so-called botches or like whatever slip ups, right? But it's
Right,
like
right.
as long as I see you as the performer having fun, that does not matter,
Yeah,
you know?
I think a lot of I mean I can say this now because I've had my fair share of experience.
Mm.
Uh this is something definitely that comes along with experience. A lot of the younger guys, which understandably so, are very stressed out about their matches.
Mm.
Um but once you start having fun, that's where the real you comes out.
Yeah.
The real comes out, and that's how I normally. And that's how I tell some of the guys, like, hey, you don't think too much about it. Just be yourself. When you be yourself, you start to find what kind of character you are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then it's much easier to work in a character from there, as opposed to us giving you a vanilla character,
Yeah.
and then
That's
you
true.
having to run with the vanilla character. Sure, you
Mm-hmm.
you you may be able to run with it well,
Mm-hmm.
right? But are you having fun? So like I think it's a very important factor, like you said. The fun part is super duper important for growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like to see. I mean, I followed the Singapore scene for years,
Mm,
and if you ask me for any specific matches, I might not remember, but what I do remember is the feeling uh, that I get. I guess the vibe that I get from watching the matches, that I felt
mhm.
happy, watching you guys perform because you guys have fun.
Mhm.
Like I can see the vibe is so different as opposed to when I could tell that someone is uncomfortable, the kind of thing. Then
Right,
I
right,
won't have fun because I'm seeing you very uncomfortable,
right,
kind of
right. Which is
thing.
which is it is something that is quite easily translatable from the
Exactly.
body language, and again, it's nothing unnatural. A lot of the newer guys do suffer from this. It's a matter of, like I said, experience.
Mm-hmm.
Some people tend to do it better than the rest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, again, the thing about character development, sure, we discuss a lot of this kind of thing in the back. Then what if Ban becomes a sadistic kind of guy? What if Kelvin becomes very annoying, let him be himself, or like how why not let Wilson be more free on the stuff he says. And speaking of Wilson, like he has a very sharp tongue,
Mm.
which is his unique personality trait. He speaks a
Mm-hmm.
lot of truth, and he's able to hit you like an arrow. No pun intended. No pun intended.
Wow.
Uh,
Okay.
and I really enjoy the stuff he comes up with for his promos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I yeah I think, like, a lot of our guys have put in a lot of work to really improve their craft, and I think one guy to look out for is really Julian. I think Julian is super duper underrated.
He
Like
is.
like people normally remember him as the funny Showtime Inc. guy, but in training he's a whole different animal.
Really.
He's super talented. I hope that with the coming months, because Prabhu is
Yeah.
sideline with unfortunate ACL injury.
Yeah.
He has a very unique humor about it lah, but we'll let him be. Um, Showtime, Val is also kind of like rehabbing from an injury as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kelvin has rode off into the sunset
Yeah.
somewhere. I don't know where he go lah. He just decided to yeah. So Julian has a very wonderful opportunity to prove
Yes.
himself.
I'm
I'm
looking forward to
very
that.
yeah, I'm very very excited for him. I hope you guys get to see what he's capable of. I
Yeah.
just hope he doesn't cuss as much in the ring though.
Does he cuss a lot?
He used to. I always give it to him. He will always say the F word for some reason, and there'll be kids, and then we have to sit him down. We don't sit him down like mean and all. Like, we just, Julian, stop it, stop, don't say the F word,
I
stop
think like
cussing.
this cussing thing, like I know across the board, like the promotions don't want to cuss, but it always ends up someone will always end up cussing in
Yeah.
the show.
But he's just again he's just being him. So
Yeah, it
he
is.
doesn't mean any malice.
Yeah, yeah.
And in fact, when I watch it, it's damn funny when he says it. But you can't cuss in front of kids, Julian. You can't. Then he's like, God damn it. He's a great guy both in the ring and out the ring. So like I said,
That's nice.
Julian's one of those guys to look out for. Yeah.
So what will you be what we can look forward to with you then? Since you already talked a lot about like the others, how about for yourself?
Oh, okay, so like for me, we've got a couple of matches coming up. I'm not sure whether or not this episode will be out, but by then, but yeah, open house, we'll see myself team up with a returning Jordan.
Oh, okay.
He I think he dropped his belt somewhere. He forgot about it.
Oh my god. The last
Yeah,
time also he didn't bring his belt, so I remember that.
yeah. Uh, he literally dropped it and somewhere. I don't
Oh
know.
my
Like,
gosh.
yeah. So Jordan and man, facing Hotshot and Devan. Again, Devan will be the second match.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
And then there's gonna be Amplify. I not sure who I'm facing yet, but anniversary, I know who I'm facing. I'm facing the fake Aussies.
The fake Aussies.
Fake Aussies. I don't know what's real about them. I also don't understand the need to say Aussie 3 times. Why can't you just say why can't you just say Aussie 3 or Aussie cube? You don't even have Australian accents. Like, I don't understand like why they call themselves Aussies.
To be
And one
honest,
of
I
them is
was
not even
also
Singaporean to begin with. Sean is Malaysian.
really. Oh,
I
I
think
did not
he is.
know that.
He has Malaysian roots, so
Ah.
I'm just gonna think of he's Malaysian because I'm a heel and all.
So I take it this is for the championship.
Yeah, for the championships.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, like we beat Best Bros in the finals. So
Nice.
Ban and I will face Aussie Aussie Aussie. It may or may not be a handicap match because people say that it's always 3-on-2.
Why?
The third man is the chair. So
Oh, right.
yeah. So yeah, we have an inside joke that Ban is actually the chair Doraemon.
Oh,
So he
because
can just
always
pull a chair out of his pouch.
you can
So it's
use
like,
that.
yeah. Every show there's gonna be like getting more and more chairs for some reason.
Yeah. I'm noticing a
I,
pattern here.
it's not planned. It's just a very funny trend. We realized after the matches, hey, shit, every match we're like getting more and more chairs, and then he just pulls it out of nowhere. It's a funny thing, but yeah, may or may not use chairs. So yeah,
Definitely. I mean, come on.
that is definitely one of the confirmed matches. Uh we do have other matches that are still in the works. Again, I asked Greg if he wanted me to promote anything. But yeah, just the dates for Amplify and Anniversary, which I'll pull up now because I am quite unprepared. Let me just.
The amplifier one is also called Road to
Yeah, it's
Anniversary.
actually Road to Anniversary now.
Okay, got it, got it.
So whatever that happens at Amplify will be a build up to my brain is not braining. Anniversary.
Anniversary.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Amplify is gonna be on the 26th of October.
Mhm.
As always, it's gonna be a Saturday, and Anniversary, which is gonna be 16th of November. Again, another Saturday. So yeah, I guess what's next for me is like the open house itself and these next two shows. We'll see if I win the tag team champions championship or not. If not, maybe I gotta go off somewhere far away into the sunset and reflect on my life. Deal with some like injuries that I have. Go for
Oh,
some.
you do have.
Yeah, I mean, haha, pro wrestling, surprise, surprise.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I do have some nagging injuries. I have a back
Mm.
injury recently, a shoulder injury, and
Mm-hmm.
somehow, some way, I also need a surgery done on my nose.
Whoa.
So yeah, I just recently found out I have chronic
What
sinusitis.
happened? Oh,
Chronic
okay,
sinusitis.
okay.
Yeah, it sounds very normal. It sounds very not serious, but because like my nose is somehow deformed, I just recently found out. Um,
I see. Okay.
yeah, and the air that I'm taking through my nose is less than
Mm.
10% of what it should be.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I have no idea how I have been exercising for so because I breathe through my mouth most of the time.
Yeah.
I guess that's why. So the doctor explained that, when you do anything that's cardio related, like running and
Yeah.
wrestling,
Ah.
you would probably be quite handicapped because you can't breathe properly. I was like,
Mm.
yeah, I can't breathe properly actually. Most of the
Wow.
time I'm dying in there.
The things you find out, huh?
Yeah, and then he said, oh no, then you should probably get this surgery done. I'm like, yeah, let me think about that. And I checked. Oh, I got until anniversary.
Oh,
But yeah,
wow.
when once my wrestling schedule frees up, at this point, may or may not win the championships. If we do, then maybe I will just disappear with the titles and do surgery and MC. Then you cannot touch me, already. Big brain. I cannot compete because got MC.
Or they could bring the match to you.
In the hospital with my pen, right? Pang!
Yeah, exactly. So how do you okay, you said that you have like nagging injuries, like
Yeah.
as a fan, like maybe because I'm not sure like how would it affect your wrestling then?
Everything.
Yeah, like I mean you watching your matches, like I had no idea that you were
So,
dealing with anything.
I mean, when you, I wouldn't say practice enough, but like when you have done enough wrestling, you know how to work around these kind of things. There are a lot of wrestlers out there who famously work through their injuries.
Mhm.
I think a more recent one would be like Seth Rollins. I
Yeah,
think he was dealing with a knee injury of sorts, and
I
then
think
he
so. Yeah.
did a match at WrestleMania. Yeah,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I think more than one match. He was dealing it for a long time. So like way before WrestleMania, he already had it. So yeah, you just know what to do, or rather what not to do when you have some injuries. Like for me, I have a back injury,
Mm-hmm.
which is unfortunately stuck to me for more than 2 years already.
Wow.
It's a nerve issue.
I
It's,
see.
it's not
Okay.
exactly a muscle issue; it's a nerve issue. So like I'm not sure if you have seen like Jujet, the day from Jujet.
Mm-hmm. No.
During I was much more nimble back then,
Mm.
more lucha stuff. You see me leave my feet more often lah. But
Mm-hmm.
right now, I don't do that as much. But also because for longevity, sure we're not doing as many matches as what the pros do, but we're still alive. Which I I think Randy Orton, he did a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was the Logan Paul podcast. He said that um he he's learned over his career to avoid doing the fancy things,
Oh.
and
Mm.
avoid injury.
Yeah.
He was actually referring to another point, but what he said kind of like related to my point.
Mm-hmm.
So do what works, and do the things that people remember you for. Instead of doing 1,000 things and people don't remember what you did, you do like 5 things and people remember the 5 things.
Yeah.
So that's why John Cena is so memorable, right?
Five moves of doom.
Yeah, Five Moves of Doom. Everyone talks about it, but if you
Yeah.
talk about Ricochet, sorry Ricochet, I love his stuff. But if you talking about Ricochet, Will Ospreay, sure we remember the Hidden Blade, but
Yeah.
what else?
Very
Uh,
true.
right. So I mean, they have their own unique form of wrestling,
Yeah.
which I enjoy. But as a guy who is dealing with quite a number of injuries, tend to learn how to slow down, make
Mm-hmm.
the move count rather than count the moves.
Mm-hmm.
Philosophy.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, with more injuries, you start to learn lah. Yeah.
So it also comes with experience, lah. Like, were you when you first started, were you like very eager to try all the moves if you can?
Of course, everything under the moon. I I did suicide dives. I did a top rope crossbody, which hurt both my toes.
Oh my gosh.
My big toes. Shit, man. There's just a lot of things. Like I can't really exactly recall what I did now, but for
Mhm.
sure, every week there's something I wanted to try. It's like playing a WWE game but with myself.
Right, right.
Yeah, so long it wasn't a front flip or back flip, I would be fine because I can't like do moonsaults or shooting star presses.
Mm-hmm.
But over the years, like you stop doing that less and less and less. Your body cannot keep up. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's a very physical sport. So like you were saying how you want to aim for longevity, right?
yeah, yeah.
To continue doing this as long as you can.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not coming from a point where wrestling is very scary. You hurt yourself. No, it is not at all. Actually, we work very hard to keep ourselves safe. And
Mm-hmm.
I would I would like to say, actually, I'm very confident to say that without my training, I would have called it quits a long time ago because of the
Mm-hmm.
injury.
Ah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
because I know of so many ways to keep myself safe. I've been
Mm.
able to drag this out for so long, which is not
Interesting.
necessarily the healthy thing to do, but I mean, from person to person, right? It's because of the training. That's why I've managed to keep myself safe despite all this like issues that I have. And wrestling is not dangerous, guys.
So it's really about, I guess, playing smart lah. Smart Dave.
Yeah, well, Smart Dave was we totally skipped the era of Smart Dave, but that's okay. That's a dark era.
Oh, okay.
Uh, um,
But yeah, I guess it's just to play it smart lah. Like no matter how much training or whatever that you want, your ambitions,
yeah,
like you gotta know your physical body limitations
for sure,
to
sure.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
makes a lot of
again,
sense.
again, like as a coach myself, I'm always more than happy to ask or rather encourage people to push their limitations. But if it's something as dumb as, oh, I'm gonna shooting star press from above the steel cage into the crowd, maybe we gotta rethink that.
Right,
As do what floats your sampan.
right,
Um,
right.
if you're confident with pushing your limits, I'm more than happy to help you to get there as
Mm.
a coach. So, but for me, I prefer to keep it safe.
Yeah, I mean, it is a dangerous sport. So even as a fan, also watching, I'm not a deathmatch wrestling fan.
Me
Not
neither.
not so much. I do watch certain but I still like cringe and like, oh my god, why do you do that? So
Yeah,
it's good to see safe things.
yeah, I mean, everyone, including the performers, they have their own like unique taste taste and take on pro wrestling, which is completely fine. But
Yeah,
I'm not. If I don't like spicy food, I'm staying away from spicy food. That's just how it is. So
exactly, exactly.
so yeah, I think like we spoke a lot about what wrestling is, the history and everything. But I think I would just want to retouch on that first topic that we talked about, how the mental health issues and everything. um Pro wrestling, like I said, is a really magical sport, and I won't speak for the other regions, like other countries, but I know that right here in Singapore, and especially Grapplemax, it's really a wonderful community. It has helped me improve myself as a person because I grew up in the industry. Is majorly helped me out in my fight against depression, which I didn't know I had until like recently. And I think for a lot of the more normal people, it's a place for them to really use their skills, uh, and contribute to the community, and at the same time live their childhood dream of becoming their own version of Stone Cold Steve Austin's, The Rock, Undertakers, Lita's, Trish Stratus's. I'm not sure if
Yeah,
there's a plural form for Trish Stratus. They just say
it works.
Stratus's.
Yeah, it works. It works.
Is it Trish Stratus's or Trish Stratai? I don't know, but
I don't even think there's an actual word for
I
it,
don't
so
think
it's
there's a
fine.
plural form for them. But you get the point,
I get
right?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, and even for yourself, as someone who is not exactly in the community, and not exactly a performer yourself, just knowing that pro wrestling has that kind of reach and influence all the way out there, right? It really warms my heart to see like people are feeling a form of passion, a form of joy. Yeah, I mean, if anyone who's listening, not in the industry, not in the community, or whatever the case is, if you don't try, you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so important to take the first step. If you don't try, you will never. I don't want to use this, but like, if you don't try, you'll never succeed. If you try, it's either you fail or succeed.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of like do the own linking yourself lah. My English is my English is not working already. My brain is not braining anymore. It has not been working since the start.
Okay, okay. There was one point that I wanted to ask when you were saying that you are a natural overthinker,
Mhm,
right? And then you said how like now that you are starting to, I guess, have a lot more fun because you're more relaxed in the ring.
mhm.
So how do you, I guess, tell yourself like, hey, don't think too much lah? Like, how do you deal with that?
Ah, mm, like I mentioned that my relationship with Greg or with the organization as a whole, like sometimes I get into trouble with them, and I would say a good portion of these times really is because of overthinking. I think about things that are not
Mm.
going to happen, but I
Oh,
think it's going to happen, but it's not
mm-hmm,
real,
mm-hmm.
right? So
Right.
yes, it has definitely generated friction with them,
Uh-huh.
um, and in turn affected my performances. So how do I deal with that? Is it's just really hard resetting myself and forcing myself or rather telling myself forcefully that hey, none of this is real. It hasn't happened yet, therefore it's not real. right? But obviously, if I go punch someone in the face, I'm gonna expect a punch back, lah. That's not overthinking, lah, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so if it hasn't happened, you haven't done anything that makes it happen, then
Right.
I get it. It's fine. So like, I mean, I really owe a huge deal to my wife, because like, she's actively pushing me to, get better. She's been a huge pillar of support for me.
Nice.
So because of this safe space, I've been able to kind of like work on this overthinking part, which has massively helped me over the past 2 years. I mean, it's still a work in progress. I still
Mhm.
get into trouble every once in a while for different
Nothing,
reasons. Okay.
nothing changes overnight, so it's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I got into trouble just recently at Singapore Night Festival. Not because I overthink,
Then,
because I'm so used to walking around shirtless. So
and then,
I got into a little bit of trouble because of that. Someone complained, "Hey, why the guy is shirtless in public?" I was like, "Oh yeah, shit. Oh yeah." But it wasn't a huge deal. It was just something funny to think about.
right, right.
Yeah. So again, it's something that people will have to be willing to work on, because you cannot stop the world or people from making you feel things.
Mhm,
You can't stop that, and it's up
mhm.
to you on how to take those feelings and how to, big word again, compartmentalize. I got it right this time, and,
Yeah.
break it down. If it's not gonna happen and it hasn't happened, then don't worry about it. You can't stop the meteor from dropping on us and killing all the dinosaurs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So it is what it is. So it's a very boring answer. I'm sure. I'm sorry,
No,
guys.
no, no.
Sometimes the
It's
truth is boring.
but it's very relatable because
Uh,
like in maybe not in wrestling, but other people might deal with it in like whatever that they're doing, right? So
mm,
I mean, yeah, lah, like you were saying, you just let go of, I guess, control that you don't have. It's like basically controlled by something else outside of your control, right?
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's best to just let it go and relax and have fun. And
Yeah. So once you kind of like get that, and things will just naturally be more fun. Like you stop worrying about things that may not even happen, and you start to live in the moment, and that's where you bring out the best, hopefully the best version out of yourself. And for especially for people who are performing, that will reflect on, on your matches, and people who see you, like when you see me, that I'm having fun, and that
yeah,
kind of like
exactly.
flows over, right? Yeah. So it's not easy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that definitely needs to take a lot of time. You need to find your own safe space and all the yada yadas. It's different for everyone.
I'm glad to like have this chat with you because to see how that now you have this very strong support system
Yeah,
and that you seem to be in a very I guess a better place than you were before lah. So
I
no,
definitely am.
it's
Yeah.
good to see that. Yeah, I'm really happy for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, so I hope that more good things come your way. Is there anything in your, I guess, what you want to do in wrestling that you haven't achieved yet?
Uh
Any current goals that maybe you've been thinking about that you haven't, you know?
I think I have. I just had this conversation with Greg and some of our guys yesterday. Like we're discussing maybe some creatives, like what's next for Big Dave.
Mm-hmm.
I think I've achieved everything there is to do in the region. In the region, hey, let's be
Right,
nice in the region.
right.
When we talk about achievements, like
Mm-hmm.
going around to different promotions, I've gone to at least 90% of them. I hope
Mm-hmm.
to visit Vietnam and Philippines one day. That would definitely happen at some point. But as someone who has done this for so long, I've been to many different promotions. I've even won titles outside of my home promotion, which I think it's quite insane,
Yeah,
because like it's quite crazy to trust a foreigner to
exactly.
carry your own belt and bring it somewhere else. And
Yeah.
the fact that I was trusted to do that, it's a huge it's a not only a huge step up for my career, but it was also a huge privilege and honor. For those of you who don't know, I was once a AWGC champion, which is the main AWGC Junior Heavyweight Champion, which was the main title for Hong Kong. HKWF, and also I won their tag team titles. If I'm not wrong, I'm the only guy to win both their singles and tag
Oh,
titles.
really?
I
Wow.
I think if I'm not wrong,
Okay,
I don't think
okay.
anyone else has done it.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't even think they know that Ho is a very carefree person. So yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
very
So
chill.
yeah, the fact that I managed to do that and they trusted me to do that is really insane. And of course I've won the big one in Grapplemax. Yeah, it's just at this point, and it has been for a while now, it's more or less trying to help everyone else. I think at this point I've worked with almost everyone in Grapplemax already. So if you were to ask me what what to expect next, I really don't know. I'm settling down in life now. I'm very content with where I am, but I'll
Okay,
never say no to a larger opportunity.
okay.
One day,
Do you have plans for that? Or maybe something that you hope to.
I hope to do, but
Okay,
not actively chasing for sure.
okay.
Again, like I'm
So
very
just
content.
something like maybe down the line if something comes up, you'll
Yeah,
consider.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, like I said, at the very core of it, there's a young kid in me that wants to go to WWE and
Right.
you know,
Yeah. I
it's
also
very
want.
weird. Yeah, at some point, right? But like I said, as life goes past, the priorities start to change.
Hmm.
I'm very content with what I have now. But if one day by some miracle or whatever, I'm good enough to be on their radar, then yeah, I would say no. I'm actually very envious of our dear Dante Chen.
Shout
Who,
out.
yeah, shout out. Like some people think that we are actively fighting a cold war or something, but we are no, we're not. We're not. Very happy
That's
for you.
good to hear. Yeah.
I know I'm not. So so like I think Dante, he really set the bar for a lot of us
Yeah.
Singaporeans.
Yeah.
Uh I would say trailblazer.
He really is.
Trailblazer. It's really
Yeah.
insane to see how far he has gone at that point and how far
Right.
he has come.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So don't give up on your dreams, guys.
That's so true. That's it. Like really anything can happen as long as you try and put in effort.
Yeah,
That's
never say never. There's always people watching. You never know. Like in any industry, any networking event, you never know. You stumble upon someone who you speak to, or someone just happens to look in your way. You never know.
exactly.
And it is those people that don't say that they are there, and suddenly something happens. So like that's why I would constantly advise everyone to continue working on your craft. Like even though you might be doing something that's mundane, it is the things that you do consistently and consistently well. It doesn't matter if you fail or succeed. Just keep doing it. Just keep showing up, and then one day you'll find yourself in a different and better place. Yeah.
Very true. It's definitely something also for me personally, like a reminder that I have to actively remind myself, like, no matter how mundane it is, just go. As long as you're interested to improve yourself, just go
Mhm.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what is that? The writing?
Yeah, that's one of the things.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I took a break and all that, and then doing this, like, the whole podcast series, like I mentioned, it was never a plan. Like, I never thought that I was gonna do podcast. I was gonna do just strictly like, I guess, review posting and social media.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when I'm doing this, I'm like, okay, will people be interested? I have no idea. But I just start showing up in Grapplemax. Like even in Grapplemax events, it's not just the shows, but to the open houses or the house parties that you guys do.
Yeah.
Like I travel all the way from the west. Just
Yeah, again, it's insane. Like, like again, I'm so happy that you're doing this. It really helps to spread awareness about our little industry, and it's quite crazy to think that at some point, when you came for our open houses, you booked one of the matches.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I'm like,
booked all the
I
matches.
never would have thought I would be doing that, but yeah, it was. I mean, it's great to like know you guys. I mean, I've gone to like one of the earlier Grapplemax shows, but I've never really spoken to you or Greg like after the shows. You know, like not like how it is now.
I
So
think Greg and I are a little bit different. Like Greg is a networking guy. He always stay
yes,
out.
yes.
I would always stay in a corner.
Which is fair. I mean, after a show, you wanna like decompress or whatever. Which is
Yeah, it's an
yeah,
introvert thing. It's an introvert thing. Like after that,
it
you
is.
thanks for coming. Bye bye.
That's also another thing. I'm also an introvert, so that's why this is very challenging for me.
Right, right.
Yeah, so it's something that I have to overcome myself. Like if I want to do this, I got to step outside my comfort zone a lot.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't know the fact that we've been talking to each other for 1 hour and
I
maybe now
know.
10 plus minutes. It's quite crazy to me.
I
Uh,
know.
yeah. So again, like I'm really happy that you're doing all of this, and again, it goes to show like how much influence pro wrestling has. Yeah,
On
you
a
don't
lot of
really
people.
you don't really see that in some other sports, even the larger ones. You
Yeah.
don't really
Exactly.
see that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I really hope that in the next 10 years we can achieve something bigger. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure.
Uh, but never know. Maybe I'll end up somewhere with red, blue, and white with some stars on it in another country flag.
Yeah. Oh,
I lost my train of thought. I wanted to say USA or something like that. But I guess I just got it wrong. Sorry, guys. That was really awkward.
nope. It's cool. It's fine. We got it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that's. I mean, we've talked a lot. Is there anything else that you wanna I guess talk about? Or if not, then we can wrap up.
No, not really. Guys, please stay tuned to the usual. Thanks for having me on the podcast. Guys, please follow at Lions City Pro Wrestling Cult. Was
Yeah.
it? Did I get it
Yes.
right?
You got it.
At,
You got it.
yeah, at Lion City Pro Wrestling Cult on Instagram. Stay tuned to their content. And also you can also stay tuned to at Grapplemax or at Grapplemax_NWE for our upcoming events. Again, not sure when the podcast will be out, but our event is happening from now, as of now, open house coming up next week. And then we've also got Amplify coming October and our biggest show of the year. Biggest show of the year in a new location.
Ooh.
November anniversary. You can check out the dates. Again, just follow us at Grapplemax. You'll find out all the news you want to know. And yeah, that's more or less it.
Awesome. It hasn't been announced yet, right? The location.
Now some of the guys retweeted and say, "At new location."
Oh, okay. I mean, I kind of heard about it, but I just wasn't sure if it's already officially announced yet. Not yet, right?
We'll see. We'll see. Otherwise, I'm sorry, Greg. I guess I'm gonna get in trouble again.
Oh no.
Nah, don't worry about it.
Okay. I mean, if you want me to cut it out, I can. I can.
It's fine.
Okay, cool. So, well, thank you so much for your time. Like, I really appreciate
No,
you sharing like the real stuff that goes on behind the curtains and all that, and your personal stories like dealing with mental health. I think everyone at some point deal with that, and to see you like working on it is actually inspiring to me personally. So
Thank you.
yeah, so I mean, yeah, so it's nice to see you in a good place now. So yeah, like all the best to you, and I hope that you will achieve whatever new goals. Maybe one day you'll get into WWE. Who knows? I hope you achieve whatever that you want. Yeah.
No, thank you so much for having me. Yeah, I wish you all the best too. Hola.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola.
Hola.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.